Hey everybody, Bohus here speaking for Fotodioxpro.com. And in this video, we're going to take a look at getting more looks out of the LED Studio in a Box. This is the LED Studio in a Box. This is the largest one. It's 28 inches by 28 inches. But we have 4 different sizes. This is the biggest. You got smaller ones. The small ones are great for shooting a single object or if portability is your main concern. This big guy is great for shooting larger stuff, or if you want to have a grouping, kind of an arrangement, or if you want to shoot a wider shot and you don't want to pick up these sides, the big one is nice, gives you lots of nice real estate. So let's talk about setting the stage for your shoot. And I tend to think of this like a little stage. You're going to need lighting, you're going to need some kind of background, you're going to need a way to prop things up, and you can do all of that with the Studio in a Box. As far as staging, let's talk about the background. We include 4 different colored backgrounds with the kit. You get black, white, gray, and blue, and they're all on this kind of tough plastic, which is nice because you don't have to worry about wrinkles in cloth or anything like that. They just Velcro in the upper corners there, and you can tuck the edge in this pocket. But what I tend to do is I like this background to be shallow here instead of it being kind of like a right angle by hugging the shape of the box. I'll pull it out a little bit. Depending on how you're shooting, you can just use some pony clamps to like clamp this down, like so. Or you can just use the clamps to be a weight in the front. It depends on what you're doing. Now I've also been using this technique with these foam blocks. You could use books or whatever you have around the house. Basically to raise the floor a little bit. If you put your object right there on the floor of the box and you shut this, you're going to be shooting downwards at your object, and that doesn't always work. So put these guys here, gently roll that out like so. And then what I've been doing is actually just reversing this curl and using pony clamps just to kind of weigh things down, like so. And that way you have a curved leading edge if you need it. There's my platform for whatever it is that I'm filming. I'll put this lens here. With your subject raised up a little bit, you can take advantage of this silvered surface on the front wall. And notice these sides are silvered as well. Once you've got this up, you can shoot through either of these little doors and take advantage of this silvered surface reflecting. Now I haven't actually turned the thing on yet, so maybe we should do that. Lighting is super simple because the light is built in. It's actually just right here in the top. You just turn it on and you're lit. So there's no adjusting lights on the outside or anything else to buy. You can just use it right out of the box. There is an accessory diffuser that you can Velcro in the top. That'll soften the light even more. And if you need the light softer yet, you can either use diffusion material that you might have if you're a photographer, or look, this is parchment paper. You get this at your local grocery store, and these lights don't get that hot. It doesn't matter, this is meant to go in your oven, but I just tore off a length. I'm just gonna tuck it in this little sleeve here. Well, sleeve, it's the pocket formed by the diffuser that's Velcroed in. And then we can get the light even softer if we need it. You can add multiple layers of parchment paper if you need it. So this is just a way to kind of create a custom look for you. So we're pretty much ready to shoot. All we need to do is close this up. And then, you know, you don't have to open these doors all the way. Sometimes I will try to like leave them half open because remember, this is reflecting light onto your subject. And this flap you can just Velcro here at the top to get it out of your way. Now I'm using a Samsung NX1 with a vintage Nikon lens. What is this? A Nikon 35mm f1.4. The 35mm on the crop sensor in this camera makes it act like a kind of normal lens, you know, like a 50mm lens. Nice for product photography, nice low light performance, great all-around performer. But you don't need an advanced camera like this to take advantage of the LED Studio in a Box. We used an iPhone 6S to take a bunch of these shots as well. And when we needed something a little extra special, because the iPhone's lens tends to be very, very wide, I went to the $5 store and I bought this little accessory lens set. It's just this little kind of clip-on dealie that literally just clips on in front of your iPhone's lens. It doesn't have to be iPhone either. You can use any kind of camera phone. But you've got these removable lenses that'll give you macro and wide and fisheye. So we actually used this macro lens, and I emphasize again, this whole kit was under $5, and we got some really nice shots because we've got plenty of light thanks to the LED Studio in a Box, which is critical when you're shooting macro stuff. So okay, now we've got your confidence up using what's in the kit. We use those foam blocks to kind of make the studio our own. Let me show you a few more things that I found while experimenting. I thought, hey, in addition to using, what's nice about these plastic backgrounds is that they don't wrinkle, they're not cloth. But sometimes you want something more than just the 4 colors that come with the kit. I found that rolls of contact paper that you buy at the hardware store for like $1 or $2 can give you a bunch of textures. And you don't have to stick them on. You can actually just sort of clip them on with clothespins from the side just out of your shot. And of course you can get all kinds of wood grains and patterns and grids for just a couple dollars. Plus, you know, since I was doing the wood grain thing, I went looking around my house and I found, I don't even know what this is, I'll be honest. It's just this bent wood thing. I don't know if it's for putting a plant on. I got it at a thrift store. And the nice thing is I set it up like this and it actually looks like a neat curved wood surface, which is nice when you're shooting something, you know, rigid and kind of clinical like a lens. So I just popped this guy in here, balancing it on that foam block. That's my floor. And then I grabbed a couple shots that way of one of my favorite lenses. Now sometimes you want to shoot something within a regular shape. You know, something that's not going to stand really easily, like this Christmas bell. I didn't want it rolling around all roly-poly while I was trying to film with it. And the one that I shot had a little ribbon on it. I wanted to make sure you saw it. So suspending it is what I wanted to do. Now, light tents that came before the LED Studio in a Box were often kind of made out of flippy-floppy sort of material. But the LED Studio in a Box has a rigid structure to it. So I was able to actually hang monofilament just by tucking some monofilament, and we call that fishing line, right here under this Velcro seam. Just run it through here like so, run it out the other end. I tied heavy stuff to each end to kind of weigh it down. And then I was able to hang the bell right there in the middle, and it just floats in midair. If you're ambitious, you could Photoshop out the monofilament if you can see it, or just, I don't know, leave it in there if it doesn't bother you too much. But it's because of the rigid structure of the LED Studio in a Box that we're able to get that extra level of versatility. Oh, and investing like, you know, $3 in some fishing line. Now, as you shoot more and more stuff in the LED Studio in a Box, you're gonna find more and more things around your house that are just gonna prop up stuff, like, you know, shooting records. You know, they are thin, they do not stand up. You know, just find something nearby that you can sort of lean them up against, and as long as they're framed out of your shot, you're okay. But there are those times where you're going to need to see the thing that's holding up whatever it is you're shooting. And for that, you can buy some of these. They're called posers. You can get these on Amazon for next to nothing. These particular ones are used for displaying rings, like in store displays. But we just pulled out the little peg that holds the ring, and we use these all the time. Actually, if you look at a lot of the photographs on Fotodioxpro.com, you're going to see we use these often to lean an adapter against or something like that. And these really don't cost very much money. Now, while you're poking around on Amazon, look at other things that could help you pose objects. One thing that we use here too are, you know those things that the youth of today shove in their ears to have big, you know, ear tunnels and stuff? So you can get little squat white plastic or black plastic cylinders or clear, and those can be very useful for propping up an object for when you're shooting catalog photography. We'll give you a couple links to our favorites down below this video. Now don't forget that one of the beauty things of the LED Studio in a Box is the built-in lighting, and it is a constant source light. So get brave and shoot some video. What's nice is you can do a tilt up, that's a nice way to reveal a product, or just shoot something that has motion in it like we've done here. So there's a peek at a bunch of different looks that we got out of the LED Studio in a Box. Like I said before, I like to think of it as a miniature studio that's as versatile as you are creative. Not only can you get a bunch of looks based on using the gear that's inside the box when you buy it, you can also use stuff around your house. You can buy a few low-cost things from Amazon, and all of that can create a very versatile kit so that you can shoot whatever you want that fits inside, and you don't need a fancy camera to do it. Like I said, we used a cell phone and a $5 lens to get a lot of these photographs, and it all looked great thanks to the LED Studio in a Box. If you want to learn more about the LED Studio in a Box, just click on the link down below this video. You'll be taken to a catalog page with all the details, everything that you need to know. And don't forget to click right here to subscribe. You'll get more how-to videos and cool tip videos just like this one. My name's Bohus. Thanks for watching.